Call of Duty points are now in Infinite Warfare. If you want the best way to get free Call of Duty points, click the link down in the description, install the app, and start getting yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Infinite Warfare video. Now today's video is going to be about how to get a high KD ratio in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. That's going to be the main point of this video, as well as some other tips to basically help you guys get more kills, less deaths, same sort of thing as getting a high KD ratio if you think about it. So basically that's what today's video is going to be about. First off, I'm going to set a like goal today. We're going to go for a pretty high like goal. We're going to go for 2,500 likes. I know you guys can smash out that many likes, so you guys have been supporting the videos a crazy amount lately, and I'd really love it if we could see 2,500 likes on this thing. That would be amazing, and that would make my day. You know, waking up to that many likes would be awesome. Also, of course, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. I appreciate all the new people subscribing. That's absolutely awesome. And let's get right into this video and talk about how to get a high KD ratio in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, first off, I want to say my KD ratio is right below a 3. I believe it's a 2.82 right now, which is pretty good considering that I'm going for these gold guns and stuff like that. The main thing, if you're going for a high KD ratio, whenever you're going for gold guns or whenever you're messing around quickscoping or using shotguns, that's going to affect your KD ratio. So if you really want to get the highest KD ratio, I'd recommend going full tryhard all the time. However, I really don't think it's that serious. It's a video game. You should definitely have fun with it, but you should also have those games where you go tryhard and go for full KD. Like for this game, for example, this game, I didn't even have the right kill streaks on. I think I had UAV, counter UAV, and Scorchers, and I still ended up going 71-10 in about 9 minutes, which was absolutely awesome. And I think this is a perfect example of a gameplay where I play it very well and get a lot of gun kills to get a high KD. So basically, that's my opinion on KD. It definitely doesn't determine if you're a good player or not. The score per minute in this game is absolutely messed up too. It says my average score per minute is like 1,000 or something, which is a complete lie. It said I got 5,000 score per minute in one game. That is 100% glitched, and don't trust the score per minute. I mean, maybe some people's are accurate, but mine definitely isn't on my account. KD seems to be accurate. Win-loss seems to be accurate. But how to determine a good player is not off of stats, in my opinion. Maybe off of, you know, score per minute, but it's always varied because one good player might play, for example, on Black Ops 3, I would play pretty much Nuketown a lot of the time. You guys saw I played Nuketown 24/7 whenever it was available, so my score per minute would be a lot higher than a buddy of mine who plays strictly TDM or strictly free-for-all, and that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a better player. It just means I'm picking better game modes for stats. So that's why you can never base things off of stats. However, everyone likes to have that nice and juicy KD, and everyone has that KD goal. Usually with me, mine's like a 2.8 right now. As long as mine stays above a 2, I don't really care about it, because I have to use weird guns and I have to use every gun in the game to get class setups for you guys and make videos for you guys. But I actually had a tryhard account in Black Ops 1 where I dropped like a 10 KD, or it was a 9 KD, using only these tips, playing TDM and going for the best KD. So let's give you guys all the tips. First tip is going to be in your class setup. Now, in your class setup, you have to use a gun that you're comfortable with. That is pretty obvious. Use pretty much your best gun. You should have 3 or 5 guns that you like and use those over and over and over again. Now, this game is all about, or Call of Duty is all about getting your kill streaks and cycling through kill streaks on how to get a high KD. Not so much in this game because the kill streaks are a lot weaker than they were in other games, but it's still very important to get your kill streaks. And as far as a class setup, there's a few things that can help you get your kill streaks, and I recommend running them pretty much all the time when you're going for a high KD. You want to run hardline 100% of the time. Hardline is the best we've ever seen in Call of Duty, and that's definitely a good point to run hardline. In this game, you definitely need to run hardline. Pretty much every single class, I run hardline, unless I'm going to be playing like TDM, where it's already 100 points per kill. But most of the time, you still want to run hardline, because that'll make it 125 points a kill, which is better. Another thing to help you guys get up to your streaks faster is obviously you want to run combat focus. That is under the Warfighter payload. Combat focus works the exact same way it works in Black Ops 3. You pop it by activating your specialist, activating your payload, basically clicking the 2 bumpers, and then after you pop it, basically for the next 5 or 10 seconds, you're getting double points on anything you do, and that's a really easy way to pop that, get a double or a triple kill, and you're already at your kill streaks. Now you need to make sure you're using your combat focus when you're going to get a few kills, when you're behind some people. You know, that's something that takes practice and skill to do, but that's basically another thing to help you guys get up to your kill streaks. Now, as far as kill streaks, the best kill streak setup for getting a high KD, in my opinion, is going to be UAV, Scorchers, or no, not UAV, excuse me, Scorchers, Warden, and then the Thor. That's going to be the best setup to get a high KD, for the simple reason that all of these kill streaks are going to be getting you kills. UAV is pretty good to use, but it's not going to get you kills. It's just going to get you, you know, awareness on the minimap, and then you're going to have to rely on your gun streak and your gun kills. However, if you're using hardline and combat focus, running Scorchers, Warden, and Thor is really good. Scorchers, first of all, when you call that in, lets you know where the enemies are at. It lets you, you know, rain down on them with that and get a few kills. And then once you get the Warden is basically an escort drone, so you want to run around in their spawn and basically play it safe in their spawn, like sit in a building in their spawn and patrol that while the Warden's up above you, killing them all. And then once you get the Thor is essentially like a lodestar mixed with an AC-130. That thing should get you at least 5 to 10 kills in pretty much, you know, most game modes, and that will definitely get you a lot of kills. Call of Duty is all about score streaks. After that, you want to cycle through your score streaks again and keep going through that. Now, how do you get these score streaks? I've given you guys, you know, you want to use your best guns you're comfortable with. You want to use hardline, combat focus. You want to use this sort of a score streak setup. But it's all about playstyle. Your playstyle is going to be the most important thing to getting a high KD ratio. You can't be using an SMG and rushing. For the main part, I recommend running an LMG or an assault rifle, and you want to play it smart. You want to be moving from cover to cover. You don't want to be sitting in your spawn, but you want to be moving from cover to cover, and you should never be, you know, outside of cover unless you're making a play to the next piece of cover. That's basically the best way to play for a high KD ratio. Always pay attention to your minimap and just play that play style that you can't really go for the objective. You got to really play that main Slayer or that assault rifle role in the game. You need to be posted up on head glitches and moving from cover to cover, which there is a lot of cover in this game, and a lot of the players don't use the boost jump as good as they could, and that's why you can actually move from cover to cover and pick people off. Definitely a good tip there, and that's how you want to play your playstyle. Now, another huge tip is the game mode. Now, not a lot of people think this matters, but game mode does matter, and play, you know, what time of day you're playing to what sort of players you're going to be playing against. If you want to get a high KD, like I said in Black Ops 1, I made a second account strictly for going for a high KD, just for fun, and basically that second account, I used the FAMAS every single game. That's because that was the best gun in Black Ops 1. I played Team Deathmatch every single game. Team Deathmatch is going to be your best bet to getting a high KD ratio for a couple reasons. Number one, it's all about kills. Getting a high KD ratio is going to help you win the game. You don't have to be sitting in a defender lobby or a domination and getting your ass spanked because you're losing the game, but you still want to protect your precious KD. That's why TDM is going to be the best, or free-for-all. Also, TDM seems to have the most beginner players in it because it's at the top of the playlist. That's just a tip that's been around for years. It has most of the beginner players in it on TDM. Also, the best time of day to play. This is something that not a lot of people think about, but if you're playing super late at night, the amount of players that are going to be on is going to be less, and it's going to be more serious players. You know, what kind of people play at 2 a.m. at night or 1 a.m. at night? It's people like myself. That's basically the people that play at late night. More people that play during the day or during the morning time is actually the best time to play, in my opinion. That's when you will get the morning. TDM is when you get quite a few beginner players, and that's the best way to pad your stats using all these tips to get a high KD ratio. Hopefully you guys did like these tips. 2,500 likes is what we're going for. Before this video ends, I want to mention one thing. I did a video earlier today with RPR Best Clash Stuff. You guys should definitely all check that out. It's the last video on my channel, but I messed up in it. I said that the Ripper was the first DLC weapon in COD, which is not true. It was the Peacekeeper. I don't know why I thought it was the Ripper. I was doing that commentary at like 6 a.m. and that's basically why I messed it up. I guess I was super tired, stayed up all night playing COD, and that's why I messed it up. You know, you're gonna mess up some things. I'm gonna take the L on that one, but we're gonna keep it moving. You know, I just made a mistake. And when you're talking for hours and hours about Call of Duty every single week, obviously you're gonna say some things wrong. I do know a lot about the game though, and I don't want you guys to think that, you know, I don't know stuff about the game because of that, if that makes any sense. Anyway, these are all the tips to how to get a high KD. Definitely make sure you are rocking. The biggest tip is going to be hardline and TDM. Playing TDM with guns you're comfortable with, and using hardline and using these specific set of streaks, you really can't go wrong. If you're a good player, this is going to make you, it's going to put you at the top. It's going to make you flourish your skills and make you become a really great player. And that's basically all I can say behind that. Also, guys, Call of Duty points are in Infinite Warfare. If you want the best way to get yourself some free Call of Duty points, check the link out down in the description. Click on that, install the app, and you can start getting yourself some free Call of Duty points today. Also, guys, I set the like goal for 2,500. That's going to be a very big like goal. I'd really appreciate if you guys could smash that up. This is the weekend now. I didn't go that hard on videos this week, and that's basically because apparently YouTube is acting really weird. It has been acting a little bit weird for me. I know a lot of YouTubers like to complain. I like to just, keep the videos moving. But this weekend is when I like to upload a lot on the weekends, and that's because the cool thing about the weekends is I can throw up a video at 2 a.m. I can throw up a video at 10 a.m. and they all seem to do well. When on the weekdays, I know a lot of people have school and work, and it's harder to fit in an upload schedule, and that's basically why I love the weekend. And double XP weekend as well this weekend. So drop a like, 2,500. Thanks for watching. Sub for a cookie and don't looky, and I'm out. Peace.